This is
Your brain on pop culture.
Yes, I am talking to you. Scorsese's controversial classic Taxi Driver turns 50 years old this month, and part of that controversy stems from the violent content in the film. That violence led to him constantly butting heads with the MPA and nearly drove him to violence. The film's climactic shootout in particular was seen as so violent that it could lead to an X rating, which would massively impact the film's distribution and box office, which scared the studio greatly. Scorsese was distraught at being told he had to make cuts to the scene despite how pivotal it was to the film and how inventive and creative it was in its camera work. So he sat in the editing suite and drank. Driven by anger, agonising over the threat to his artistry, and fueled by booze, legend says that he sat up all night with a loaded gun, threatening to kill the executive at Columbia Pictures who suggested the cuts. This may sound shocking if you're more familiar with the mild-mannered director now from his daughter's TikToks, for example.
Ah, my God, she's taking her eye out. Oh my God.
But the younger Scorsese was a very different story, especially during the making of and subsequent years after Taxi Driver, in which darkness and depression consumed him. Unsure of what to do, he turned to fellow and future Hollywood legend Steven Spielberg for guidance, and Spielberg agreed that the scene was too pivotal to make cuts to. But they did come up with a plan. They could resubmit the film after changing the saturation levels on that shootout scene, turning the colour of the blood from bright red into a dark reddish brown. It got an R rating, and the rest is history. Spielberg actually did address this myth later on, and while he does say that Marty did say he'd shoot the executive, he wasn't serious. But he was very angry. Scorsese apparently even planned on breaking into Columbia and taking the print of Taxi Driver, and maybe even destroying it, because in his eyes, they were about to destroy him by making those cuts anyway. And yeah, it's probably a mixture of fact and fiction. But just to be safe, I wouldn't get between Scorsese and his celluloid, or the next thing he shoots might be you.